unmute you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're very, very loud.
Okay, well, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
But why am I so loud? Let me,
Talk again.
can you hear me now?
Just right.
Okay,
I'm gonna hang up, okay?
okay, and I'm gonna try to figure out my camera.
Okay.
Okay, love you too, bye-bye.
Dean, we can see you.
Good morning, Pastor.
Good morning, everyone.
Cliffy?
Good morning. Good morning.
Oh, I figured it out. Thank you, Jesus.
Dean, we're going to shut this system off until 9.
Okay, all right, at least I know I can hear you and see you. I had such a problem.
And we know that too, and we're looking forward to seeing you at 9.
Goodbye.
9 o'clock, so this meeting of the Elkhart Police Merit Commission will come to order. Welcome to those of you who have joined us in the chambers, as well as those of you who have joined us online. We hope you find this meeting interesting and informative. Clerk will call the roll, please.
Good morning. At this moment, 4 of our commissioners are present in the council chambers. Clifton Hildreth,
Present.
Brad Billings,
Present.
Jim Rickoff,
Present.
Thomas Barber.
Present.
We have one more commissioner that we're waiting to join on WebEx, and that's Jean Mays.
Next matter is consideration of the proposed agenda, a copy of which has been furnished to each commissioner. Motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Submitted.
I second.
Any discussion? Any items to add? Any items to subtract? Just joined us. So on the motion to approve the agenda, a roll call vote.
Welcome, Jean.
Good morning.
Great. We're doing a roll call vote on the approval of the agenda. Clifton Hildreth,
Yes.
Brad Billings.
Yes.
Jim Rickoff,
Yes.
Thomas Barber,
Yes.
Jean Mays.
Yes.
That's carried 5-0. Thanks.
The next consideration is the minutes of the June 9th meeting. And a copy has been furnished to each commissioner. Is there a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
I so move. I second.
Any motion or things to add or subtract? On the motion to approve the minutes of the June 9 meeting, a roll call vote, please.
Jean Mays.
Yes.
Clifton Hildreth,
Yes.
Brad Billings,
Yes.
Jim Rickoff,
Yes.
Thomas Barber.
Yes.
Thank you.
That brings us to Police Department business. Chief, take it away.
Good morning, Dan Milanese, Chief, Elkhart Police Department.
Good morning, Chief.
Morning.
How's everybody today? All right? Good. All right, so we have several items here. A lot of them will should move pretty quickly. But first, I have a disciplinary notice for Detective Scott Hauser. You should have been furnished a letter for that. Violated policy 320.5.9F, conduct in our standards of conduct policy. Basically, as the letter states, Detective Hauser was disrespectful and unprofessional while speaking with a coworker. That complaint was sustained, and I've issued a letter of reprimand, and as well as Detective Hauser will receive supervisor counseling for his actions. It should be a notification. I believe this is within my ability to, by statute, to issue the discipline. And there's been no request to, to have a hearing, and Detective Hauser has been made aware of this action.
Notification has been received. Will show that the notification regarding Detective Hauser has been received.
Thank you. Next disciplinary action is going to be a request that will have to come from the commission. I have requested a 30-day suspension without pay for Corporal Jeff Gorbel for his actions that were filed in the complaint back on February 20th of this year. That was during an interaction between Corporal Gorbel and a citizen during a call for service. His actions were unprofessional and uncalled for, and I have requested a 30-day suspension without pay. The reasoning behind that 30 days should be spelled out in the letter, and I believe Corporal Gorbel has not requested a hearing to dispute this, and he was notified of the disciplinary action that we would be requesting from the commission.
So he was upset with the person that called the police department?
That's correct. Went out to the call. We had been out there several times, and he had gotten frustrated with the amount of times we were called out there and acted unprofessionally while on that call. As I believe I stated in my letter, he had showed remorse for his actions, realized what he had done was wrong, and took responsibility for those actions.
Is there a motion to approve the suspension of Corporal Jeffrey Gorbel as requested by the chief?
I so move.
Is there a second?
I second.
Any discussion or questions for the chief regarding this motion?
Well, Chief, he's okay with it. He's going to take the suspension, doesn't have any problem with it.
That's correct.
Okay. Has he done it already? Is he getting ready to do it?
No, sir. I cannot impose that until it's past my ability to give. I have to request for the, it's a recommendation of the board. As soon as the commission approves it, then we will move forward with that suspension.
Thank you.
Chief, I have a question. Was the confrontation verbal or was it physical?
It was verbal only.
It was over the phone, wasn't it?
No, it was in person.
Oh, in person. Okay.
Correct.
Any other questions for the chief? On the motion then to approve the suspension of Corporal Jeffrey Gorbel for 30 days, roll call vote.
Thank you. Jean Mays,
Yes.
Thomas Barber,
Yes.
Clifton Hildreth,
Yes.
Brad Billings,
Yes.
Jim Rickoff.
Yes.
That's carried 5-0.
The next thing I have for you, I'll kind of read them actually collectively because they're all the same request. But it's really just a notification, not a request. It's a notification to notify the commission that Patrolman Llewellyn, Velati Raymond, Heredia, Allen, and Gorbel, a different Gorbel, Josh Gorbel. These are all patrolmen that will be moving from 3rd class up to 2nd class after the completion of their first year of service. That is a standard operation for us when it comes to moving pay grades. But I want to make you all aware of it in the notification that they will be moving statuses.
Is there any relationship between the two Gorbels? No.
There is. Nephew. Yeah.
Any questions about the notifications?
Well, it's hard to believe it's been a year already for some of these guys. It just seems like we just got them in here.
It is. It has really been, it's kind of been a whirlwind. And every time a year comes up, I think, really, already? Like,
Yeah.
it just kind of blows my mind. But we are here, and these officers have just done a phenomenal job. And we're very excited. Actually, some of them seem very much past the year mark as far as maturity and ability.
I really hate to think about years, actually.
Yeah, that's.
That was sense of humor.
No, I agree with you.
We're with you.
In a way, sense of humor, but also sobering.
Yes. But it's better than thinking of nanoseconds.
That's correct.
Anything else from the department?
No, the only other thing, just as a quick update for the commission.
On which one?
We have, oh, I'm sorry, is there anything that needs to be done as far as accepting these as a recommendation?
The president can just accept those
I
notifications.
thought I said it. We accept the
Okay.
notifications.
Pardon me, I didn't hear that.
That's okay. You're soft-spoken today, Mr. President.
Yeah, so as far as the department as a whole, we are down to, we've given 9 conditional offers, which in theory technically puts us down to only having 14 openings, which is, we were at 23 with the conditionals, we're down to 14, which is great. 5 of those conditional offers that we gave were lateral officers. So there'll be at least 4 of them starting. We're hoping to swear them in on the 28th of this month, the next meeting. Then after that, there's going to be some subsequent, probably about every 2 weeks, you'll have anywhere from 1 to 3 more. So we've got 4 civilians as well as the 5 laterals. So that gets us up to 9. We just had a department information night. So what we do a lot of times is before a hiring process, we will open it up and we will have an information night. So we contact the applicants that have put their application in and said, hey, we're going to have a night where you can come in. We have just a discussion time about, hey, this is the department, this is what we do. It allows them really just to get an introduction to the department, what we do, how we do it, what to expect. And it's a really good night. It's a couple hours long. If you ever are interested in attending one of those, we would certainly extend the invitation to you, the members of the commission. So if you want to come some night, we'll let you know about the next one. And it would be kind of a neat thing for you to be able to see. Also, every Tuesday, we hold workout nights. So anybody that, the academy requires physical agility testing. So, if somebody wants a little bit of help either getting in shape or, motivation to stay in shape, we meet at Walker Park every Tuesday. So we have officers that have taken that on to help facilitate people that are interested in it, and they go out and spend their time helping people kind of progress towards being able to accomplish that goal of the physical agility
Is that
testing.
Tuesday in the morning, in the evening? After?
Evening, yep, in the evening. So we do that. What's that?
Typically, what time does it start?
I believe it's right around 5:30. So
That's at Walker?
Walker Park, yep, Walker Park. And so they go out and do that. So that's always a positive thing. I think right now we have around the 20-ish mark for applicants coming up. I think we're going to start here next weekend with another testing. So we're working on that and just trying to continually work our way through it. And we've been very fortunate with, and many of you have sat on the boards with us when we hire, but the quality of applicants we're getting is awesome. We're very thrilled with that. And really we're seeing kind of the fruits of that come through with some of these younger officers, how they're responding on the street, what they're getting into, how they're handling themselves. It's common knowledge that, we were down on Garfield the night when there was that large shooting, and we had some officers that were right there with like about a year on, and the way they handled themselves was incredible. And I take my hat off to our training division and to our field training officers and our supervisors, really, because what they pour into these officers to be prepared to do what they do, to be a year on and jump into that scene. When you have obviously a lot of people injured, you have at least 12 people injured. We had officers there when shots were being fired. They were, actively, working their way through the crowd, trying to protect people, engage people, and then afterwards trying to, do life-saving measures and treatments, as well as dealing with, at least several hundred people at the same time that we're all kind of in a panic state. That becomes very, very challenging for the amount of officers we had versus the amount of individuals we were encountering and dealing with. So, there were community members that helped and, that stepped up and helped us, but it becomes quite a challenge for us to do that and to see these young officers respond and to be able to handle themselves professionally, make these, split-second decisions on what's best for the situation, not knowing what the outcome is going to be. It's pretty impressive. So between our training program, our field training officers, and our supervisors overseeing them, we are an extremely fortunate community to have the professionalism that we have. Very, very fortunate. So I'm humbled to be a part of it, and just thoroughly impressed with how they're conducting themselves.
Chief, if I might, I have to say
Yes, ma'am.
this. The outreach that the department is doing is awesome. People are seeing the friendly side of police officers, and that's so very important. And they're being so engaged in the community really changes the atmosphere on how people see the police officers. They not only see them as protectors, but they're seeing them as people, not the enemy, but people. And I think that's very important, and it is working. And I think your guides probably saw that at that situation of that large shooting. I'm sure that they did. But you can just change, you can hear the change in the atmosphere. And that's so important that the community, everybody in the community, not just me, but those who normally don't trust officers are now seeing a different side. And I think that's very important. And I want to commend you, because I will say this, and I've always said this, that people or a community reflects the personality of the leader. And that's in any situation. The leader who guides and guides with honesty and purity of heart reflects on the people who are following them. And so, yes, we may have some officers that haven't stepped up to the plate and who may not be quite the caliber that you would like. But, you know, when you're around people who have a certain personality, your personality will either change or you will move on. And I think you've created that atmosphere for growth and unity. And I want to applaud you and the department for that. So, but that's all that I'd like to say.
Well, I certainly appreciate that. You know, one of the things that we have to have as law enforcement is a standard. We cannot operate without that. And as you all know, the hiring challenges and employment challenges we've gone through has not been easy. That again goes back to the testament of the officers that are here, that are working through these shortages, that are diligent. You don't see drop calls. You don't see failure to respond. We're not taking hours to do this or hours to do that. The amount of professionalism and responsibility and dedication that you're seeing from these individuals is incredible. And the standard of what we want to hold, we are not lowering that standard. We refuse to do that, and there's a reason for that. So being able to hold those standards and really pour into the leaders that we have, because without our frontline leaders, that's Commissioner Mays, that's really where you're seeing this coming from, is coming from those frontline leaders, holding them accountable. So my street sergeants, our road sergeants, our lieutenants are really, really taking this to heart because they care. They're dedicated. You don't do this job to sacrifice what we sacrifice if you don't care. I'm not saying you can't get jaded at times because it gets hard to deal with the mad, bad, sad, and angry. But the amount of professionalism we're seeing, the dedication from our leaders to hold that standard and to get the officers, you know, more proactive in not only the protection part, but in the serving part. That's where you're seeing Commissioner Mays is getting out of these cars, you know, patrolling, getting back in the neighborhoods, making sure we were always there. It just maybe wasn't as visible. And we're really trying to encourage that. And I'm so thankful that we have the leaders that we have that are doing it, because those, again, you go back to your frontline supervisors. I can't run the road. I can't run the shift. I can't be here at, as much as I'd love to, my family would hate it. I'm here enough. But I would love to be at every briefing on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I mean, every day of the week. I just can't. And so we have to rely on our leaders, and we are so thankful for the caliber of leadership that we have. And we will be holding that leadership to that standard. If you're a supervisor, you're held to a higher level. That's just the way it is. And on up the chain. So yes, we do have, you know, some progression we'd love to see with some, but the vast majority we're seeing it, and that accountability will continue to come, as you saw today. But then we're also going to turn right back around and say, okay, this is how we move forward, because you will not typically see any disciplinary action from me without seeing a corrective alternative action. So you will see supervisor counselings, you will see referrals to our new avenues program, which is our counseling that we have. Those types of things are always going to typically accompany a disciplinary action, because discipline should not just be for punishment, it should be for corrective action. That should accompany the corrective action. So that goes back to what I just talked about with our standard, right? We want our standard to be a corrective action, to be a positive thing. So when we make a mistake, we're all going to make mistakes. It's fine. Let's move our way through it. When I mean it's fine, I don't mean it's good. I mean, we can't avoid it. We're not going to be perfect, but we can strive to do the best we possibly can. So I appreciate you saying that, Commissioner Mays, because we are trying very hard. I just got an email today, read it today. We went to a call. There were 4 officers that went down to a call in Oak Lawn. There was an individual having more of a mental health type crisis. It was an individual with autism who was having a difficult time. And we just got absolutely praised by Oak Lawn, our officers did, for the way they handled themselves down there and the response they got when dealing with them. They were just, you know, overwhelmed with appreciation with how they handle themselves in that situation, the professionalism, the dedication, and the ability to deal with a crisis situation with the balance of, you know, humanity and kindness and professionalism. So it was a great thing. That would Lieutenant Summer, Sergeant Mayer, Corporal Weaver, and Corporal Lewis all got. We got that email on them. I just received that today, so I sent the notification to them of appreciation for what they do. And you're right, the public is seeing it. I think they're feeling it, and that's exactly where the direction we should be going.
Yeah, I think
I still will say this, and I appreciate your being so humble, but I will still say this. An organization functions under the leadership of a certain personality. That personality can either wreck the corporation or make it great. And your personality, your heart is the type of heart that makes it great. So you may refuse my compliment, but you can't stop me from giving it.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Chief, is there any training in the academy for dealing with mental health cases?
There is. We also do quite a bit of it when they return, before they go, when they return. So we have de-escalation training. We do scenario training. We put them through, every year we do that type of training for the entire department. But I know they do that type of stuff down at the academy. They do it when they come home before they hit the road. And then when on the road, we do it again. So we've actually built in a scenario day for our trainees before they hit the road. So we'll build in scenario-based training for them to go to domestics and, somebody that's having a mental health crisis, burglary, whatever it is, traffic stops. We'll build those things in so they can have it, exposure to it in a controlled environment, but very realistic scenario with role players so they know how to interact, not just a PowerPoint with hey, if you run into this, think about these things. We make them apply it. So that's, I come from a trainer background. I've been a certified LE trainer since 2006, so going on 20 years now. That is something that's deeply ingrained in me and that I am passionate about. And if you've met any of our trainers, you talk to, Sergeant Oldham, you talk to Lieutenant Thayer, Corporal Weaver's another trainer. You talk to any of our trainers, and we are a heavily focused training department. So we're very appreciative of that we have those opportunities to do it.
I think I can speak for the whole commission in saying that it's really a good thing that this issue was raised today, because now the city residents have a chance to see just a lot more about how your group is, what they can expect.
And if there's issues, we want to hear about them. And if there's successes, we want to hear about them, because we can learn from both of them. We can learn from our mistakes, and we can learn from our successes as well.
When we gave the discipline just a little bit ago, I was a little slow in my wanting to agree, because I felt the officer. I felt his frustration, and at a heated moment, he acted out of character. But the thing that stood out for me is that he was so remorseful, and the fact that he is ready to take the 30-day without pay, without contention, shows that he was greatly remorsed. And when it comes to mental health situations, like the president was saying, I think sometimes we forget the pressure that the officers are dealing with constantly. Burnout is fast, and what they do is extremely hard. And I think sometimes we forget that they're not super people. They're not Superman and Superwoman, that they are flesh, and things happen. That's what I'm trying to say. So I had a little moment with that discipline, but then I thought, if he is courageous enough to accept it and remorseful in what he's doing, then he's accepted his punishment. And that kind of set a special thing in me, that, okay, this is someone who knows, okay, I'm tired. I've been here so many times. I am so tired of coming to this address, and burnout. And I think sometimes people don't understand that when an officer is working a long shift or night shift and this type of stuff continues to happen, that it does kind of wear on a person. And so I was a little hesitant with that, but when thinking of what he was thinking of and what you were thinking of and taking that in consideration, then, I said, this is the right move. But I think we need to take that into consideration when we're talking about mental health and life. We only get one and we don't get a redo. So there are so many, it's complicated. The facets are so complicated that, oh, let me be quiet because I'll get on a tangent here.
No, it's very much that way. And I think one thing that people tend to forget is that the mental health topic affects all humans. And contrary to some popular beliefs, we are humans. And we do have bad days. In a department our size, in a 20-year career, the average officer witnesses 188 critical incidents in his 20-year span, 188. Not to mention lack of sleep. You work midnights. Does everybody get more tired or less tired? More cranky or less cranky when you're tired? More. It happens, right? You work midnights for years and years and years, lack of sleep. It's not an excuse. We still hold a standard of professionalism. That's why we have accountability and discipline. But we care about the officer. We care about their health. And so it's not just about the disciplinary action. It's about the corrective action we can take to get that individual back to the standard that we require. It's all going to be full circle, right? I'm going to go right back to standards. I'm going to go right back to accountability and have that same conversation, which we just had. So I appreciate you saying that, because mental health is a true thing for everybody, including our officers. But we also have to recognize it, see it. We have to hold each other accountable. If I see somebody starting to get a little on the edge, I can go, whoop, 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 hold on. Maybe I need to step in and be my brother's keeper, and really kind of try to work on that a little bit. So again, that's another aspect that we are very much working. We've created a peer support group that we have at the police department as well. So we have our chaplains, we have our social workers, we have peer support, we have EAP. So, and the employee assistant program. So we've got a lot of good things going at the Elkhart Police Department, and a lot of them are because of the individuals, and I'll go right back to the standard that we have of the individuals that we're hiring and the programs we're putting in place. So again, I'm humbled to be part of it, and to watch the growth of what we're doing through our supervisors, through our training program. It's a pretty great thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else for the chief from me?
Yes. Chief, now that you have the authorization for the 30-day suspension.
So we'll start that as soon as possible. So Captain Hamlin, who's in charge of the patrol division, which is where Corporal Gorbel is assigned, will be notified once I leave here that has been approved, and he will work on scheduling that as soon as possible. You're welcome.
Steve?
Oh, I had one other question that I did want to ask Chief. When we were doing our less lethal that we are doing now, is there a mental health person at those sites when there's one needed? Do we have a person like that is on site when we are called to a less lethal type situation to talk that person down or whatever?
So it really it depends on the situation. I can't speak to every situation just because each one is unique. And there's a lot of aspects to that, but I think I can kind of generally answer that question. So all of our officers are trained in, verbal communication that would help with de-escalating people. Again, that goes back to the training I just talked about. All of our officers go through de-escalation scenario-based training, all of them. So when we show up and we have somebody, using some less lethal tools, as we talk about with our tactical field officers, our TFOs, any officer that shows up has been through that training. Now, to what degree? If it's more of a standoff and we bring in maybe some SWAT negotiators, that takes it to a different level. If the situation presents itself to where we are able to either bring in a chaplain or bring in one of our social workers, we will do that. Again, the situation very much dictates that, and we always have to, first and foremost, put the safety of the public, that individual, and our officers in mind. So we always have to look at that preservation of life. We have to look at the public, We have to look at, the individual or ourselves, and then you have to look at the individual that's posing the threat. So it depends on the situation, but in a nutshell, all of our officers are trained in de-escalation tactics, and we do have resources or what we would call force multipliers to assist them if the situation allows.
Thank you.
Chief, before you leave, the National Night Out for this year is coming up.
It is.
Could you tell us a little bit about what's going to happen on that night?
So that's a great night. So if you guys get a chance to come out, and I would highly encourage you to do so, it's a way for us, just another opportunity, not the way, but another way for us to connect with the community and really have an interaction with the police department. So there's all kinds of games, there's all kinds of events, and we partner with as many people in the community as we can that have resources to help people. So it's not just about the police department. I mean, we're going to have housing, we're going to have funding, we're going to have all these different organizations that can help people come together in one spot at one night, as well as interacting with the police departments. I mean, I think last year they had a llama dressed as a police officer. So the diversity of the things we're going to have out there, but we have vehicles, SWAT vehicles. We actually put on a little mini testing for the kids if they want to do, vertical jump or push-ups or sit-ups, whatever it takes to be a police officer. We do that kind of stuff with them, as well as all kinds of free resources. And typically there's always hot dogs and cookies and chips and water and stuff like that. So I know Bristol Street Cafe has partnered with us several years, and Neil Allen and his group have just been awesome supporters of the police department. And he is, as well as many, many others. So, come on out. I know it's August. I thought I had is it on the agenda? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, there it is. August 5th. I couldn't remember if it's 4th or 5th. It's August 5th.
You still bring
Tuesday.
like all the equipment out. People
Yeah.
can see all that. It's kind of cool. That's why I think people can see all the apparatus and the bomb squad and all that stuff. It was really interesting.
Yeah, there's all kinds. If you ever want to know anything, we have our motorcycles, we have our bomb techs, we have our SWAT team vehicles, we have our boat out there, we have everything out there. So it's just a cool way to be able to come out and interact with and see what we have, and enjoy doing it. Bring the kids. There's all kinds of stuff for the kids. So great time.
This will be at the Central Green.
Central Green, right across, right there across from the police department. Yep, between Franklin and High. Yep.
Well, tell the guys, I'm glad they won one of the games, the softball games or baseball games. They didn't win them both, but they won one.
That was a point of contention with me. I went Saturday and watched the games. Now, as I put out my email, we had a decisive victory against Goshen PD, and Elkhart Fire was able to eke out a win in the championship game. But under protest, they did have 5 out of the 9 that played for Elkhart Fire were actually Goshen young rookies. So I just want to say it's under protest because we had a true pure EPD team, and so I won't give Chief Dale too much grief. I will probably give him
some ringers, huh?
Yeah, I think it has an asterisk by it, so we'll just say their win was an asterisk. But no, it was a ton of fun, and it was great to see the departments going back and forth and interacting and having a good time. They had food trucks there, they had a dunk tank there, they had concessions. It was all for home runs for homeless and being able to help raise funds, and so it was really great. I'm actually hoping we do more of that. I like to see the interaction between the departments. So,
Thank you, Chief.
Anything else for the chief? Thanks very much. Great
Are
report.
we going through the change of status here? Are we just,
I think we did that one earlier.
That is a group, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I did that as a group, not individually. Yeah.
okay,
Y'all have a blessed day. Thank you.
You too.
have a good day, Chief.
Does any member of the public wish to address the commission? Comments from the commissioners for the good of the organization?
It's good to see the department doing so well and the community being able to see it, because it's really all about community, how we function together, and we function better together than we do separately. And for me, that's a good thing. I've always said your outlook on life is as large as your community is. And so for me, that's important.
Thank you, Dean. Just want to come back to the information matter. We have a report or a statement from Corporate Counsel SBAR, along with a copy of the statute that gives rise to the identification of all the members of commissions. So take a read at that. It's pretty obvious. Are in compliance.
We are in compliance.
Any other comments from any of the commissioners? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any objection? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned.
Bye, Jean. Take care.
Bye. I'm going to call you tomorrow.